Morning. Right, so you know that this is a video series, and we're concentrating on branding. So what we've done so far is worked out a market, not a product, not a business idea, but a market. We've specified a fictitious member of that market so that we can bear them in mind while we write or whatever materials we create. We always create it with them in mind. We've looked at their values so that we can match our business to those values. And now we're going to start to try to apply some of these kind of brand values and the brand definitions, like the mission statement and things that we've been working on, and the logo, and we're going to start to try to apply them. And one of the points about branding is that there's this rule. I never actually verified whether it was true, to be honest, but it was always peddled by kind of advertising people. And the idea was that your message needs to be seen by someone 9 times until they actually act on it and do something about it, until they actually buy something from you. So the first time they see you, they kind of go, oh yeah, well, that's kind of whatever. Next time they see you, oh, there's that guy again, and then gradually they become more familiar with you. Some, maybe the 7th time they see you, they kind of go, oh yeah, no, maybe I will buy that thing. And they start thinking about where they're going to get the money from and so on. And eventually, on the 9th time is the kind of peak frequency for them actually buying something. So, and the problem with magazine advertising and PR, which is where I used to work, is that people only see a third of the content of a magazine. These are the subscribers. So when you place an ad in a magazine, you need to place it 9 times 3 times, 27 times before you can start to evaluate whether it's working, because then you've reached everybody on that subscription list 9 times. So that's quite expensive. So there's this thing about the marketing mix which says that your message can reach people by multiple means. So perhaps you have your ad in the magazine, perhaps you have a PR story as well, and then perhaps you send them a direct mail, and maybe you call them, and maybe their friend mentions you as well. And gradually your message gets through, but the point is it has to be consistent, and that's where branding comes from. If people get confused messages about you, then that counter resets. So the point about advertising was to keep the ad consistent for all of that time and not change it, and not do your evaluation until all of those ads have run. So your branding needs to be consistent all the way through. So that means your brand values have to seep through and affect everything you do in your business. And actually all of your decisions in your business need to be guided by your brand values. So for instance, I'm doing some marketing for a festival at the moment, and it wouldn't be any good me taking a tone, good evening ladies and gentlemen, if I could beg your pardon just for a moment while I tell you some of the interesting things that you might like at the weekend. That's not going to work. And at the same time, if I went up to my presentation to world leaders at Davos with a kind of hi everybody, sorry I'm late, God, I had a bit of a curry last night, it kept me up all night, that wouldn't work either. So obviously your brand values affect the message that you give and the delivery of that message, and it affects the marketing channels that you choose to use, It affects every business decision, essentially. So it has to be consistent, and and your logo and the way you present yourself is part of that. So you've got all of that sorted out by this point. I'm just checking what else I need to tell you. So the other side of this is to work out where people are going to look when they want to buy from you, and again that's guided by your branding. So they might look in the Yellow Pages or the local paper, corner shops, Facebook, Ask Their Friends, whatever it is. I think we talked about this before, but that list is guided by your branding. So if someone wants a upmarket architect, they're not going to look in the corner shop window. But if they want a local window cleaning service, they might, and they won't go looking in Architects Journal directory or whatever. So that's that. Anything else? Right. No, that's it. We're done. See you next week.